Okay. Should be good. I'm looking at the sounds. Everything seems alright. What's up, Breadman? Happy Friday to you. Make sure the music's not too loud. Alright, there we go. I think that's fine, at least. We'll see. We'll figure it out. Mr. Wet, the wettest of caramels. How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? All right. Yeah, audio seems to be fine, so I'm good on that end. Question is now, though, how do I want to design this thumbnail? Because it's actually coming out a little bit clearer on the streams and than it is on mine. And also, let me move this over so I have more of a way to view what I'm looking at. All right, there we go. Hope everyone's doing well, though. So, the basis behind this thumbnail, and I actually wasn't going to stream today, but I was like, let me go ahead and tap into this and see if maybe I can not get feedback, but just gauge like interest in what I'm doing. So working on a huge video, and I want the thumbnail to be as of course, as attractive as possible, but get the point across. And so I actually have, it's kind of a spoiler what it is right there in the top left, but oh wait, let me get my mouse. Hold on one second. Let me see. Is it games? Yeah. Properties, capture cursor. Is that better? Yeah, it's better. Okay, sweet. So, want it to be as, here's the point, as possible. So the text with the drop shadow is what I have thus far. I can probably get rid of things like the glow layer, but it's already hard to see because I have it on a white background. So like if you're looking right here, for example, you'll be able to see the slight differences, but it's like one of those points A to B, and you want to start off from this point to this point. So I want this to be the most important, like, oh, okay, I'm here, but I can end off there. Without giving away, once again, too much of the video, but it's pretty obvious what it's going to be about. So I have all the base elements. Knuckles here in the middle, or technically this is Sinbad. So Knuckles or Sinbad in the middle. But how do I go about making this, like, yes, be important, but also have the, like, other focal points that I feel like will get the point across as best as possible. But yeah, no worries, no worries. So in my head, I was thinking something like this, right? Let's see, Sonic Frontiers, announcement screenshots. I'm thinking something like this. I'll take this image, copy that. What happens when I blow it up? A little grainy, but that's okay. I'm thinking of doing something. An arrow, yeah, true. An arrow will always get the job done. I actually do have, wait a second. Do I have an arrow? I think I do. I think that's one of like the base package starters I even like started, began with. Useful. I don't have the little curved arrow. But what I could do, drop this in, put it behind him. Let's see, minimize it, because you also don't want too many elements on screen. So something like that, maybe. We'll come back to this. Let's do, where's the, oh, adjustments, here it is. Hue and saturation. If I can get it like dark, that might be, no, gray is, oh yeah, no, not that. No, because then the colors don't pop out, or the outline of it doesn't pop out. Is there like a yellowish I can go with? Maybe that one. No, I mean, yeah, by all means, you can feel free to, speak on any suggestions that you may have. I'm looking for anything that can helpfully inspire me. So if you have any things that you think might work out, let me know, and then I'll go ahead and test them out and see. Like I said, this is all just spitballing. Oh yeah, no, if you have homework to do, then for sure do that and just have me on in the background. But there are more important things, so don't feel like you're obligated to. But like I said, any suggestions, feel free to throw them my way. Once again, this is just kind of like to get everyone familiar with my thought process for thumbnails and whatnot. Because some of my thumbnails, fire. Other ones, not so much. So I'll hide the arrow for now, just because I don't know exactly where to put it. Let me go back to this, right? And let me actually put this into... convert into smart objects. It'd be like that. Plus it's Friday. I used to like doing my homework on Friday, but then I had a teacher that was like, yeah, don't do your homework because it's supposed to be done at home when I was doing it in class because it was a free period. And she was like, yeah, no, don't do that. So I was like, all right, well, now I'm a procrastinator. Thanks a lot, lady. So let's get Sonic himself, right? Oh, this is going to be... maybe if I start from the eyes. Let's start from the eyes. Or the nose, actually. Okay, that's a little better. And then it stops right about there. So let's see. Not too much I have to do, but still a bit to be done. 1 second. Let me make sure. Yeah, oh, that's good. I believe it's the brush right here? Yeah. Yeah. Oh, this so the Sinbad part is supposed to be like the historian, kind of sorta, like he's just writing down the entire thing. So you're not completely incorrect, but he's supposed to be the one that's like teaching people the walk, like the history of everything. So, but good to know that the image or the message kind of gets across. But that tells me there's a little more clarity that I could work with for sure. I just realized I didn't post this on Twitter. Hold on 1 second. Let me go here actually. Share, Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it. And then I've actually never just posted it without an image. What does that look like? Looks all right. Okay. Yeah, most definitely. I was like, yeah, you know, let's go ahead and do it, because I was really just kind of thinking about how could I improve on this entire process. And I was like, let me stream it, because ideas are always going to come from anywhere, so I figured, why not? Plus, you guys watch my stuff, so I was like, yeah, it's a nice little preview of what's to come. See if I can get as much of this as possible. I feel like for the socks, that's good enough. Luckily, his shoes are rounded, so the circle does help. I know the biggest thing when it comes to like not crossing out or getting the image cropped the way you want it is just little bits and pieces of the materials that can get lost. So like right here, it's all jagged and whatnot, but you can still tell that those are his shoes. That's actually pretty good. I like that. I like that a lot. I might leave that as that. Because I think, actually, that's fine. I'm only going to really need his upper body. So me being too finicky isn't going to do anything but extend my time on this. This is a little less smooth, but it's okay. The beauty of technology, am I right? Let's see. The part where his white connects is very hard to tell. Hold on 1 second. Can I maybe do one of these? Okay, that's obviously the ocean behind him, so let me erase that. I feel like I can get away with that. That's good enough. Yeah, that's good enough. Kind of. Legs can stay the way they are. Maybe tune them up a bit. Get these jagged edges smoother. Sorry, Sonic, your legs aren't gonna be perfect, but it's okay. Okay, that should be fine. Hands are usually like they're one of those things where they're either gonna be the easiest part of the process or the most difficult. Luckily, his hands and arms, in this case, kind of overlap with his hair or his quills, so that all works out. Let me go like that. It's actually perfect for the cuff. Be a little bit better right there. And then this part is a little confusing. But I think I got it. Okay. And now we just trace the outline of his thumb. Dog, there are so many AI thumbnail generators. I'm like, ooh, but then, hold on, wait. Let me see if I can find a bad one. Hold on one second, hold on. There are plenty of bad ones. There's one dude I have blocked from Sonic Twitter. Stop that. He's used AI before. Actually, he still uses AI. Hold on one second, let me find it. Ah, here it is. Okay. So here's what an AI thumbnail looks like, kind of, sort of. Oh, hold on, I'm stupid. My bad. One second. Control V. Here's an AI Sonic thumbnail. That shit just looks fake. It's not good at all. It's not stylized. I mean, if we're gonna get into Sonic details, the quills, why is this one shorter than all the rest? It makes no sense. But anyway, I have to, there's not even an urge for me to use it. I'm just like, thumbnail process is so excruciatingly long sometimes. I'm like, damn, maybe I should just use AI. But then I continue to have my artistic integrity. So, may not be very good at it, but I feel like it's better than using AI in my opinion. So, but it is a thought that has crossed my mind slightly, but I don't think I'll ever do it. That was just the lazy person in me talking. Okay, there we go. Yeah, once you get the outlines though, everything is pretty simple. Yeah, it is. Plus, I feel like being able to learn from just the process as a whole, like as long as you become iterative with each thumbnail or anything you do, it's like, all right, I feel a little bit better about this. Yo. That looks like it has a little bit of the ocean in it. Yeah, it does. It should be fine though. That should be fine. Go ahead and do this cuff. Kind of hard to tell as well. It's mainly because the image isn't that high resolution. Yeah, it's like you would think they would hire a team. I mean, they probably did have a team at some point, but then they were like, nope, let's just go ahead and use AI because it's cheaper, faster, so on and so forth. But luckily, most of the people that I do follow, whether they're Sonic YouTubers or just in general, they don't use AI. So that does feel good. And although I'm not too well versed on like the process it takes to even get AI functioning, like on a back end kind of thing, I do know that the process is not that bad and has something to do with like mining, but I probably should better educate myself on that entire, step-by-step process. So, but also AI art just looks like shit. There are some that have gotten me. I'm like, oh, that must be real. And then I see like the caption or the community note on Twitter, for example, where it's like, yeah, this is AI. I'm like, oh shit. Okay, well, there we go. I can't tell if that's his hand or not. Let me see. That curve right there is the ocean. Can you erase that? His cuff looks a little, like I said, image resolution. That's okay. That's fine for what I need it for. Okay, now this part's gonna be easy. Not that zoomed in. I mean, yeah, it is bad. It is bad. There's something, like I said, beautiful about the human struggle of creating. I mean, that's how we got most of what we enjoy today, whether it's food, fire, conventional means of doing things. Hell, car travel, for example. Somebody just got tired of walking, I'm sure, and was like, you know what? It's time for a car. Plane travel. So yeah, the creative process, just undercutting it, is never, like, it seems revolutionary in the moment, but it's also, looking back on it, it's like, damn, okay, that was probably something we could have done if we just took our time with it. But considering how fleeting life is, people are like, I don't want to take the time, which is an argument that I can understand to a certain extent. Definitely an argument I can understand, but there are better ways to find usefulness in time and appreciating what you're doing in the moment. Okay, there we go. Yeah, it's like, see, that's, and if we're gonna, I know you're not talking explicitly like about games in general, but that's why I do miss like old school gaming, for example, because you could go through an entire story, you do everything well, like you learn how you're supposed to do it, etc., etc., how to navigate things, and then you get the unlock reward at the very end talking about, hey, you've unlocked hard mode and an unlimited gun kind of thing. And it's like, oh shit, that's very cool, but I had to take the steps to go through this entire process to get to that point. And it's like, all right, so, you know, like the number 24, true. So just like little things like that. I know that gaming is like a very niche example of that principle, but it's super cool just to see. I messed that up. It's super cool that things like that, at least as it stands, used to exist. His quills aren't straight right here. There we go. That's a good curve. Oh, that's a beautiful curve. I did that. Okay. This one looks a little strange. Let me see. Is it up here? Is that where the disconnect is? I think so, yeah. That don't look right. Hold on 1 second. That don't look right. That looks better. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it like that. Yeah, if you can start a game and then there's like left down, right trigger, left trigger, square, triangle, whatever if that like is available to you from the very beginning, then that's excuse me, then that's not fun at all. Yeah, go ahead. As long as it's, I have to make sure it's not copyrightable, but yeah, as long as it's like, usually most video game OSTs are, so if it's one of those, then yeah. But official music from like not composers, but artists, then probably not. There we go. His ears look a little off. That doesn't look right. That looks better. Is that your ear, Sonic? Nah, there's no way. I think that might be your ear. That's crazy. Okay, well. Definitely has more of a curve up here. Bro, Loki has a big head now that I'm looking at it. That should be fine. I do have the collection room in this playlist, so I do have that at some point, but the one from Celeste, let me see. Celeste OST. Let's see. I don't see the track name that you were saying. I see Madeline and Teo. Is that the one you were referring to? Oh, Rising. Okay, good purchase, good purchase. That's the one with Raiden, right? When he has the I guess cybernetics, if I'm not mistaken. No, that's this guy. Okay. Madeline Teo. Okay, gotcha. I'll put it in the queue. Oh, it might pop up next depending if it... Yeah, there it is. I still have to play Celeste. It's on my list of games. It's in my wish list on Steam. But I've heard nothing but good things about it. Yeah. Good pickup then. Good pickup on the MGS. I don't... Your head looks so misshapen. Like, genuinely, your head looks so misshapen, right? Is that just the way it is right now? That has to be, right? Let me see. Hold on. Oh. There we go. Okay, there's a little more of a curve I can do, or is it too high? It might be too high. Yeah, I might need to go a little bit with this, a little bit higher with the sky. Yeah, I heard MG Rising does get better as you progress through it. The beginning is a little questionable though. Let's do one of these. That kinda does. That kinda looks better. Yeah, okay, that looks better. All right, so Q, Control J, swap to this, duplicate into layer. Oh no. Duplicate into Sonic history thumbnail. Okay, get rid of this one. Yeah, I've heard legit nothing but good things about Celeste, so I'm super excited to even give it a try. He looks a little rugged right there. And I heard the DLC was pretty good as well. Like, even better than the base game. So, like, my thing about... Well, let me finish the thumbnail first, and then we'll talk about, like, exactly what I'm looking at, or what my thought process is. For reference, oops, if I can do this. Oh, first of all, let me put this underneath the the rule of thirds. This is for reference, right? This is what I have. I thought I'm still like, okay, it looks good, but then after just reviewing and everything, I feel like there's a little bit too much going on, mainly because, ironically, of Knuckles. But then without him, I'm like, I don't know. The history do be incredible. The history do be incredible. But like, I'm looking at this, I'm like, yeah, something about it. Like when I'm looking at it zoomed out, it's like, okay, But then zooming in, there's too many elements going on. I don't know if it's the highlights, if it's the lines. I don't know what it is exactly. This one, not yours. What do you mean? Oh, well, no, this one is mine. So like they're both mine. This is a new one that I'm working on, but this is the very first one that I created. Like I started working on this, or I did this thumbnail maybe like a month ago. This video's been a long time in the making. So I'm like, That's a main reason why I haven't finished the video, honestly, is because of the thumbnail. I'm like, it doesn't get the point across. Like, there's too much. Hence, once again, the start over. The resolution? Really? Oh, okay, yeah, that one is kind of grainy, yeah. These other two, though, they're a little clearer. But that was the clearest one that I could find of Uekawa's Adventure Sonic, so that does have something to do with it as well. Let me do... I'm thinking... Like, I could honestly... Let me see. Let me copy... I put Supersonic, what, a 2 or whatever it's called, in the middle, just because it's like the most recent iteration. So Adventure Sonic with the Metal Harbor background, Classic Sonic with the Green Hill, and then Supersonic with Chaos Island was the only one I felt fit. But the difference of background is to show like throughout time, with the middle being the most recent. And that's mainly because of the rule of thirds. Like, people will look to the middle and to the left of images first before they look to the right. So why exactly I put Adventure Sonic right there, I don't know, but it just kind of fit. At the time, I thought it fit. But the question, oh, that's what I was gonna do. Yeah, the rule of thirds is super common in like film, TV, painting as well. So things like that. You usually want to put like the less important things on the right side. So like in this case, I guess it would technically be like that's the less important, but it all depends on not only how you frame it, but what's the image that you're calling attention to. So obviously I'm calling attention to the right side in this case, even though technically it should be the left, but humans read from left to right. So that's the main issue that I was coming into with. Let me move this one, duplicate into... Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if in other countries it was, because it makes sense. You know, Japan, for example, they read from right to left. So, let me put this one right here. I can probably erase a little bit of that. So like, there's this. But then the only thing that's kind of screwing me over is that I'm like, when you're looking at this, why is Knuckles here? Because I could easily do, and maybe my issue is that I don't want to get rid of Knuckles. That's probably what it is. But I could easily do something like this. Yeah, I do have to clean up the background of that or whatever. I could easily do something like this, however. Let's just grab a random background. Let's do... I guess this one is fine. Copy, paste. It's simple, but it works. It's simple, but it works. And it's like, I don't want to do, like, simple would be good for the premise of the video. But hold on, let me get rid of the lines. Like, obviously that's not the background I would use, but just as an example, like, it could really just be something like that. Because a lot of people know about, they've at least seen Sonic and they've at least seen Supersonic. So that's like super simple to understand. But I don't want that, you know? I want it to be the right blend of invoking, but also telling a story, even though people only look at thumbnails for like 2 seconds before they decide to actually click in. I wonder if I should, while I'm at it, let me see. Nah. So, not sure about the Supersonic 2. Let me delete that for now. What if I blow this up? Yeah, it's like one of the elements, and I don't know which one. One of the elements is kind of drawing away from the main point. Another supersonic. Let's see. Let me just type in Google supersonic. See what pops up. What I could do. Nah, that wouldn't. Let me see something real quick. Hold on. Copy image, right? What if I take this, convert to smart objects? What if I take this? Might be hard to get those particle effects. See what that gives me. Okay, so let's do this. Okay. I feel like I got too much white there. Nope, too much black. I'll go ahead and erase that. Erase all of this, even though I may not need it. Yeah, thumbnails are like their own little pocket dimension of content creation that there's a right way to do them, but if everyone does them that same way, they get stale. So it's like, how do you find your style while still applying the core principles and making it feel like it gets the point across, you know? Oh yeah, no. That's what I said. It's all just suggestions and feedback and whatnot, but ultimately the final product is like up to what I decide on. So I do keep that in mind, but any information or any like suggestions are good to take into account. So let's see. Get his knuckle. I don't know if that's his body technically, but let's go ahead and include it in. Skip ahead a little bit here. Okay, that's almost over. David Achu. On thumbnails, I'm assuming? If you want to link it, feel free to, and then I can always review it after the fact. Nope, too much. Okay. Let's go here. And I can erase all that after, or, you know, take it out after. Okay. Oh yeah, dude, I love Aldaboy. His editing and just his thumbnails, just like another case of sometimes simple is super effective, you know? But I know there's like a whole art that goes into it for his, you know, for him specifically. So I think once I find my style, it'll work out. And I thought I had it at one point, because the Metal Sonic video I did, I think it's sitting at like what? Let me take a look. The Metal Sonic video I did is sitting at 184,000 views, and that thumbnail is so incredibly simple. But I really think, well, not I think, it's a combination of the title and the thumbnail. So let me just screenshot it real quick. Hold on. It's really just a case of, oh, wait a second. Like this right here. He takes forever to post, and I hate that about him, but I love it about him. Like this right here, it took me 30 minutes to make, and it has 184,000 views. See, I appreciate that about the Tails one, because I feel like no one watched the Tails one. I don't know if it's because Tails isn't a popular character, but that video's at like, let me see. Okay, it was at like 1,000, but now it's at 1.6 thousand. And the Tails one, I feel like I definitely could have made the thumbnail a little bit clearer, so it's my fault. But this one, 30 minutes, nothing, compared to, what's another one that took me a while to make? What's a good one that took me a while to make? I feel like this one right here, it's at 3.5 thousand views. But I feel like it should have, why is this one so grainy? The only inconsistent thing with this thumbnail is this part right here about the Musou, like the genre, because that doesn't really dictate, that doesn't really tell you like what a Musou is. But obviously we've all seen Sonic with the sword, hack and slash, boom. Roguelikes are for the most part 2D, some have 3D of course, but like they're like 2.5D, and so that was the reason why I went with the advanced style Sonic. The horror thumbnail, I like that. I went with what I did, even though I'm a little upset that you can't really see Gerald. And once again, that's just like a rule of thirds and just a rule of like YouTube in general. I'm upset that you can't see Gerald, but it gets the point across because it's consistent. You know, eyes, and they're all in like a creepy-ish manner of like, okay, what is it about these eyes that are a little, you know, freaky or whatever. And obviously the Metal Sonic one kind of helped me get the video off the ground because that image was trending at the time. But this one, I know not a lot of people have seen. The Gerald one, everyone knows from Sonic, Shadow Generations, like the animation series that they did. But it's so hard to tell. But you know whose eyes those are just by looking at it. If you're a Sonic, like hardcore Sonic fan, of course. Or not even hardcore, just, you know. So I'm like, oh, another one. And then I'll go back to designing. Oops, that's my, how do I screenshot? I forgot already. Control Shift S? No. What is my, oh, window key. This one, I feel like is good. This one right here, beautiful. 42,000 views. I don't know how to write tiers. Oh, thirds. THIRDS. So you're just missing the H. That's it. If that's what you were trying to spell. This one, this one is a little like hit or miss for me because Shadow is the only one whose image doesn't take up the entire section that he's in, but everyone voted for this one. And I'm like, okay, it fits, I guess. You can't really see Blaze, unfortunately, so you can kind of tell it's Burning Blaze, but because of the way YouTube works, it's like, who is this, kind of, sort of. But Silver, of course, you can tell. Shadow, I wanted him and Silver's faces to match up, but there's no way to do that without completely messing up the point of the thumbnail. Supersonic, obviously, Knuckles, and then Mechasonic was just another eye person. So maybe I just need to do thumbnails that are like based around eyes, you know? I don't know. Oh yeah, consistency is the key to everything in life. Continuously doing the same thing and improving upon it is how you get ahead no matter what. But I mean the pattern I'm seeing is like eyes are the biggest thing. Oh, I see, of the images. True. These, in this case, all these images do come from different panels, but actually no, all of these are from the comics. Yeah, all of the, oh. I want to say, so it's gonna sound like super obvious, but is using the same art style? Yeah, because it comes from the comics. Yeah, so using the same art style, now that I'm looking at it, there are very few. Okay, out of all the ones that don't have similar art styles, actually it's not that many now that I'm looking at it, but there are a few. Let me take a look if I can find one. Okay, this is a good one. This video did relatively well considering it was only 5 minutes, but oh, it's gonna get kind of grainy, but that's okay. Yeah, hold on, wait, let me zoom in real quick. This one did well considering it was like a prologue to that video I did on Gerald. But all of these look somewhat familiar. Or not familiar, all of these look somewhat similar. Chaos has that more like three-dimensional look to him. Erasure Gen has the updated model from, I'm not even sure where. And then Mephiles obviously is from Shadow Generations, but they all have that same 3D-ish model, even though they come from different games, technically. Because Sonic Generations, Shadow Generations, I don't know where this Erasure Gen model comes from, actually. But yeah, I think but it seems as though it does have to do with the art style consistency, because it can't be too jarring. I think the first video I did that got like more than 10,000 views, was it my Silver video? No, it wasn't my Silver video. It was this one. So unless it's showing like a very obvious sign of progression, because this one did good. This was like one of the first ones I had break out. I think one of the first like 2 or 3. This is telling a very obvious message. Classic on the left side, modern on the right side. And then that same arrow that I have here. And then you have like that's actually Sunset Hill from Sonic Advance 3, so not as classic, but then Chaos Island, of course. So like in that instance, I feel like the jarring image difference or image style difference is expected, and that's probably why I did so well. Even though a lot of people were confused on why this wasn't like a mod showcase, so there's that. But you know, that's beside the point. Yeah. So let me try. The Sonic ships did well. The Sonic ships they do well. That's sitting at, hold on one second. 128. I'm surprised that I'm genuinely surprised that video didn't beat out the Metal Sonic video, because I released it on Valentine's Day. I want to say, if not right before Valentine's Day, then right on I think it was right before Valentine's Day. But I'm surprised that one didn't pass the Metal Sonic video. So, who knows? Oh yeah, no, I get that. That's not probably, but that's also why my most recent video on Sonic and Amy is sitting at about 18,000 as well. But luckily I enjoy like the shipping discourse, not to like it controls my life kind of degree, because some people will like live or die by these things. But it's all, as long as it's harmless fun, that's all that really matters. Valentine's Day was yesterday. Really? Well, actually, no, it's colder in Brazil around this time. That's interesting. Well, to be fair, it's usually colder here when we have Valentine's Day as well, so kind of works out. That's pretty cool though. I thought it was like a universal thing, but I see not. It's pretty sweet. So let me think about this. I want to say that was a pretty fire transition. Was that? Hold on, wait a second. Let me see. The way it just kind of flipped over to that. That was pretty fire. That was a pretty fire transition. I'm gonna have to remember that. So, how do I want to do this? You know, the way the previous song just kind of stops and then Sonic Frontiers. I think it's like 4-2 remix. 4F remix just kicks in. So, let me finish this and see how this looks. Let's see. Nope, not like that. I actually like Sonic Frontiers a lot. I know a lot of people don't. Well, a loud minority of people don't. But I thought it was a good game. I still need to go back and replay it. Might do that sometime soon. Let's do one of those. Yeah, I enjoy it. It may not have all the replayability like as just a standalone game itself, but I think it does a good job at being, you know, a new entry in the series. Oh yeah, no. Well, to be fair, people were already kind of hating it from the jump, so that sucks to say, but you know. Yeah, when I found out that people didn't like the writing of SH2, I'm like, wait, really? But I guess as you get older, you kind of like replay things. You're like, oh, this story was kind of bad, but it was never meant to be like a super blockbuster story anyway. So that's what I'm confused on. Like, you guys should have expected this. You played it as a child, but you know, sure. Let me do this. I guess I'll cut that off just so it's more consistent. Kind of, sort of. We'll see. I know, SA2 is one of my favorite games of all time. It sits comfortably in my top, like, 5 Sonic games ever. I just realized this is also, yeah, let me get, oh, damn it, okay. Let me get this back in. Be a little too high. As in, like, on the ranking, or? Actually, what? I don't think I've asked you. What is your favorite Sonic game of all time? Really? You think top 5 is too high for SA2? Jin's, okay, those are good picks. Those are good picks. I respect those. Oh hell, I don't. This version is a little questionable. It's the one from Shadow Generations. Like, it's good, but I definitely like the original a little better. I still think Never Turn Back is a little better. Emotional attachment, that's fair. That's fair. Yeah, I think all of Shadow's themes really do hammer home just why he's such a good character. Honestly, I would say he's probably the last, like, well, they don't really write, how do I say it? I feel like Shadow's the last good written Sonic character, but that's not really fair to say considering not many of the other characters have a story to them, at least in the games, which most people partake in. But hopefully that's gonna change in the future. Yeah, to be added, because Silver, I feel they could have done so much with Silver. They could have done so much with Silver, and I hope there's still like a desire to do something with him, because they kind of just explain away everything that he does and like why he acts in the manner that he does, and that's what has a lot of people so pissed. But yeah, Shadow is the last good written or good added Sonic character, but Silver is a close second because he had the potential. Well, Blaze, no, Blaze also exists. Blaze also exists, so we have to remember that. Is this part of you? That's part of you. Let's see. That's not a straight line at all. Jet. Well, okay, considering what we know about the Babylon Rogues, I can see a case being, or yeah, because we know a lot about the Babylon Rogues as a whole, not too much about Jet. And when I say Babylon Rogues, I really mean just like the history of their people. So not too much on him as an individual, unfortunately. But I think that's fine considering the game that he comes from. You know, it's a racing game. There's not much story to be had, even though the Riders series did have a decent amount of story to them. But whenever you think Babylon Rogues, you think you think Jet, and Wave and Storm kind of just are there as well. Oh yeah, Controls and SA2. Yeah, no, those could use some work. Whenever I do go back and play it, I definitely use the mods that allow you to map the actions to different buttons, because otherwise I would have a terrible time. It's not unplayable, but once you try it that way, it's kind of hard to go back. Also, is this part of you, Sonic? I think that's part of you. That's part of you. Okay. That's your leg. Crazy to think that's just his goddamn leg. All right. Hey, nothing wrong with that. Actually, well, can you? No, you can't map controls. Yeah, with emulation, unfortunately. That would be cool if you could. But I know a lot of people usually do go based off of the computer versions. Okay, let's get the Knuckles. Let's see. Honestly, I think they're gonna do something with Knuckles. Speaking of Knuckles, I think they're gonna do something with Knuckles in the near future, because he's been present in a lot of the advertising for Crossworlds, at least when it comes to like the main, the intro movie or whatever. Like Knuckles is present in a lot of that. Him, Sonic, and Shadow are all at the forefront, and I've been wondering like, hey, what are they gonna do with that? Unleash OST, it's top 3 OSTs. Let's see, that should be good. I think that's your cuff. Yeah, that's your cuff. Okay. Let's go here. Okay. Top 1. Top 1 is a bold claim. Oh, that's too much of the... Top 1 is a bold claim. It's up there, though. I think it's in my top 2. The only one where I'm like, possibly beats it out. Possibly. Not beats it out, but is up there with it. Is, unironically, Sonic and the Black Knight. Like, I love Sonic and the Black Knight's OST. Actually, Sonic and the Black Knight and Secret Rings OST. Obviously, Unleashed has more diverse music, but I enjoy some good bit of rock. So, you know? But Unleashed is definitely up there. So top 2 for sure. Oops. Okay. There's a few splotches that I could cover up. The hard part is going to be those particles right there. Let me do the hair next, just to change up my location. Okay, get that. Go ahead and change this up. Yeah, the motion controls is really the only thing. Luckily, there is somebody working on a version of the game that doesn't need motion controls at all, but it's going to be a couple of years before it comes out. But it's in the works. It's in the works. Definitely do think that's a game that everyone should experience, especially if you kind of like Secret Rings. I think you'll enjoy Black Knight a lot more just because it's not as difficult to get things going. Very much so streamlined control scheme. Also, Frontiers' OST is pretty fire. I love Frontiers' OST, and I'm not talking about just the Titan fights. Just in general, the OST is very good. Especially the Final Horizon expansion. Get some of that. Okay. Really? Not a fan of the cyberspace music, huh? Are you just not a fan of EDM? Is that why? Identity. Okay, that's fair. Okay, I'll give you that. I'll give you that. Well, to be fair, also, like, just to back up the soundtracks, I guess Identity, because it does have one, but I think they took the whole cyberspace and EDM / techno a little too seriously. So like that is its identity. It's just hard-hitting tracks most of the time with a lot of electronic synths and whatnot, which, you know, is not everyone's taste. which I get, but yeah, it's not as memorable to folks as some of the earlier games are, like Unleashed, for example. Because you think Rooftop Run and you automatically like hear the tune in your head. You think not Spagonia. You think Holoska Night and you hear the synths in that one when the game or when the round first starts. Not round, but the map first starts, whatever stage. There we go. So let's see. I can make this a little sharper. Yeah, I can make that much sharper. Nope, too much sharp, too much sharp. There we go. Let's see. That's fair. I'll give you that. I feel like in a room full of like people that just kind of know Sonic music, they won't think that it's from a Sonic game. So you have a point. You have a very good point. Versus like someone hears Green Hill, for example, they're like, oh yeah, that's Sonic. You know, in some relation. They may not know what game, but they'll know like, oh yeah, that's Sonic. Sweet. Let me go back up here and clean this up. Okay, looking good. Actually I lied. Up here could use a little. I think that's all part of the background. Looks a little strange. Is that because this is his ear? No, it's not his ear. I mean ear, his hair. I'll clean some of this up as well. Hey man, you can multitask. Like I said, just have me on in the background. No one's stopping you. Oh yeah, then you should definitely hop to that. You should like more than definitely, you should hop to that. Okay, Sonic, question is, what do I do with all these particles that you have? Lower the music? Yeah, for sure. Hold on 1 second. Alright, how's that? Is that a little better, or do you need it lower? Oops. Better? Alright, beautiful. Yeah, I found a way where I can like lower it for you guys and not have to lower it for me so much, just so I can still hear everything that's going on. Excuse me, so that all works out. I'm gonna try it with these particles in, and then we'll go from there. We'll go from there. I'll clean all that up later. Actually, no, let me not do that to myself. Music, so. Oh no, the music was like at least 4 decibels lower than me, but I turned it down to 7 just now, so it's still audible though, right? It shows up on my end as like it's at 40 or whatever, so it's pretty low. My voice is at like 15, 20. Yeah, well, no, the software that I use, it separates the audio for you as long as you add it in. So like my Spotify is separate from my voice right now. So hold on, let me turn it down just a little bit more. But yeah, but there are other ones like dedicated to where you can have different tracks specifically. But usually the software, software that I use does a pretty good job of it. It's just a matter of me controlling the volume and seeing what works depending on what I'm doing. So that's usually the, just the issue. Let me get rid of this right here specifically. Yeah, geography is one of those things where it's like, as long as you can look at a map and know the first few letters or know like the surrounding area of where you're supposed to be looking for, it's pretty simple. Because like obviously you get the big ones, but then the smaller like not states, but smaller countries can be a little bit difficult, but usually it's just memorization. That's it. Okay, let me see what this looks like. Oh, wait a minute. Move this under here. Yeah, I don't know. I think that's just part of the actual image. I want to say. It might be the aura, the golden aura that's around him. Yeah. I think that's just a golden aura around him. See if I can find a better image of... Well... I need to find a background. That's what I need. Let me look for a background. But like, what would even be a good background? Do I even need one? Try that the way you made the text on your Tails video with this one. Oh, you mean like, I think I know what you mean. Because on the Tails video, for example, I had the text was slanted, but I think that was just like a extreme version of the italicized. Let me see. Is it warp? Yeah. Let's see. Not that one. Fisheye? Hell nah. Inflate? No. Twist? Arc. Let's see. It fits the curve of his head, but it's kind of hard to tell what the word is. Obviously, in my case, I know what it is. Let's try that back. I need a higher quality image, that's why. Of that Frontier Sonic. Text would benefit a color. Yeah, I wanna put a color in, but I have to figure out like what background, if there is gonna be one, is going to be there first, because those have to contrast each other and be you know, they have to contrast each other but still work in a sense. So I gotta figure that out first and foremost. See if I can find something. Oh, this one might be higher quality. 1919 by 1079. Oh yeah, that's way higher quality. Okay, hold on. Wait a minute. I think I may just fix the issue. Let's get that back. That is a good question. Let me see. That's a good question. Oh, you mean melanin? Is that what you mean? Like melanin, skin pigment? No. Oh, when something has pigments. Colors on the paper. I know what you're talking about, but I can't figure out the word. I usually just say color, like on the military. Oh, camouflage? You mean that? Like camo? Like one of these? Hold on. Oops, hold on. Like camo like that? Oops, wait a minute. Stains. You mean like on paper? You're not talking about texture, are you? Because texture is like the way something feels. But you're talking about specifically the pigment or skin tone of something. Skin tone, pigment, color wave. Yeah, I'm not sure, unfortunately. But if I come up with something, I'll for sure let you know. But skin tone, color wave, pigments, texture. Right. Go on a blank piece of paper. Let me see. Like spots? blotches, like a ink blotch, like you throw a paintbrush at a piece of paper, that kind of thing. Spots that have different colors. Yeah, I'm not sure. Because like I get the general idea of what you're talking about, but I can't think of. Maybe, yeah. Like I got tomato paste on my shirt and it got stained. That kind of thing. Oh, okay, that's fast. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that might be what you mean. This image is way higher quality. Holy hell. Holy cannoli, Batman. Let's see. Wait a second. No, I can't do that. No, I can't do that. I was gonna do something real simple, but I couldn't do that. Seeing brown is in the background. That would contrast not in the proper way with like Sonic's natural, not natural, but Sonic's blue or yellow. What I was gonna do is this. Hold on, let me see. Let me show you. Let me erase all this. Not erase it, but hide it. Let me hide that, hide that. I was gonna do this. See if I can find a better version of it. I guess I'll use this one, sure. Just do something like this. But this would be way too simple. So like one of these, right? Right. And then one of these. Hold on. Obviously stylize it a little bit, but oops, hold on one second. Let me erase this, or better yet, put the lines away for now. Let's do one of this, one of these. See if I can find the middle. Oops. All right, there we go. And then just erase this one right here. Make this white, just so I can see. Oh, not that one. This one. But worst part is something stupid like this, once I finish it and show you, it probably would work. Hold on. Okay. And then just do like, I don't even know. Fuck it, put this one up. And then put this guy in front. Hold on. do that and then do one of these, I guess. Maybe. Not that. Nah, it would have to be not that though. Not that, not that. Let me refresh that. Something like that would probably work if I could like edit the text a little bit better or do the text a little bit better. Ironically enough, because then they'll be like, "Ayo, what is that? His leg is a little big." Oh yeah, he has that new disease, that mumps disease, you know. But something like that would probably work. OCD, fair. Deletes. Deletes. So let's look at the elements that I'm working with right now. Oh, the third leg. That is correct. That is correct. Obviously, I would have to erase a little bit here. Just a little bit. Okay. And then for Knuckles, I would have to erase a little bit there. Let me actually minimize that. Oh wait, let me actually do this first. Let me finish this so I can have a better image quality. Where's my brush? There it is. Okay, let me outline this. No, you're good. Like I said, this is really just me trying to spitball. But I do have... Hold on. Let's see. I'll show you a little preview since I started editing the video like I said a month ago. So I'll show you a little preview of what I have. Like it's just the template for things. So don't expect anything too fire, but let me know what you think. Oh, I probably need to add it as a source. Okay. Hold on 1 second. And this will actually be a good test to see if the video would get demonetized with the sounds that I have in the background. But hold on. Let me add a source. Bring your brother home. Oh, no, you're not. All right, let me add. This is a, what is this actually? Video capture, display capture, browser. What would this technically be? Application audio? No. Window capture? I guess, yeah, window capture. Okay. So here's what I have. I'll show you just to show you for a quick second. Desktop audio is on. It might be a little loud, so just be prepared for that. So you might want to turn on your volume just a little bit preemptively. But let me zoom ahead just a little bit. Make sure all my actual stuff is in order. Hold on. Okay. Oops. Oh, duh, you can't even see me. Hold on one second. I'm sorry. My bad. That's my bad. That's my bad. All right. Full screen. Uh-oh. Is it not going to show? It's not going to show. Hold on one second. Let me put this on full screen, actually. And then properties, resolve. Is that okay? So here's a part of the video.
And this is the great American game. Oh, too loud, too reckless, too ghetto. Mr. Lamar, do you really know how to play the game? Then tighten up.
And then that's pretty much it. So like the section that would follow that would be a montage of sorts with the rock music in the background. So yeah. The text is see-through, it's opaque, so it would be able to I would be able to have stuff in the actual background of that. But anywho. So not much, but it is a good foundation. The boy flashbacks. Yeah, that's a compliment. I'll take it. I'll take it gladly. Oops. So the goal is to have that done within the next like 2 weeks. But it's gonna depend on how much I can do it, and hopefully it is good. I mean, once again, the whole process or the whole idea is to make it so anyone who was kind of on the fence about, you know, liking Sonic or just wants to learn more about Sonic in a general sense has the ability to do so. So, you know, I have high expectations for myself, but I also don't want to let that contribute to like paralysis in making it so I just don't finish it all. Because it is a passion project. Like this one specifically is a passion project. So it's for me to make sure that I can explain something that I really do enjoy, you know? Yeah, exactly. All right, let me do this now. Let me outline all this. This is not going to be a straight leg, but it's okay. Okay. Oh, almost. Here we go. Yeah, once this is done, I should be able just to fill in the blank. Let's go here. Cut off right there. Yeah, it's like that as well, you know, in a lot of places. So it's good that, you know, you stick to your guns and you're like, yeah, no, this is what I like, you know, because a lot of people will straight up just not indulge in the things that they enjoy because other people are like, hey, that's kind of garbage that you still like that at your age. But it's like, let people find joy in the little things, you know? So I'm very happy that Sonic is becoming more of like a household name like he was back in the 90s and whatnot, early 90s, I should say. So, and all someone needs is the right motivation to get into something. They just need that one video or that one game or that one movie or show or whatever it may be to get them motivated to really be interested in something. Also, I've never listened to the Hades soundtrack, but the soundtrack is kind of fire. Oh yeah, let me do this as well. There we go. Hades is yet another game I'll have to play at some point. On my wish list, just have to get it. There we go. Yeah, you know, it's like, once again, high expectations mainly for myself, because a lot of folks that, you know, have been supporting me with the whole YouTube stuff, they're like, oh, you know, I want to learn more about Sonic and whatnot, but it's hard to pinpoint exactly where they should look into without having to possess prior knowledge. So it's like, why not just take on that responsibility yourself? So after some convincing, I was like, you know what, this is going to be a project I take on to just kind of be that stepping stone, because a lot of folks will make videos where it's like, oh yeah, this is the dumbed down history of Sonic and whatnot, and then they go into the whole spiel of things, and I don't feel like they really tackle what makes Sonic so interesting. And so that's what I kind of want to aim for, is to just fill in that gap, because it's great. Like, the videos they make, don't get me wrong, the videos they make are good when you are someone that already knows about the series and you just like refreshes on everything and just to see other people's opinion. But what is it about the series that makes you like it so much, you know? Whether that be context of how you got into it, or just what about a specific game, a movie, a show? Like, what was the entry point for you? Oh, I missed a spot down here. So that's the goal. That's the goal. But I really have to commit myself to it. So just, there probably won't be a video this upcoming week. There might be a short, but a dedicated video, I don't know. Because I want to have everything out by the actual birthday mark, which is next, like, it's Monday the 23rd is when Sonic's birthday is. And so to have this video come out like a day before or on the actual day of, that would be perfect. But, you know, life is life. So we'll see. We'll see. Okay, that should be enough of an outline, right? Yeah. Let me go in here and fill this in. Okay, there we go. Yeah, no, I'm not trying to go for perfection. I just want it to be cohesive, easy to understand, and enjoyable. Because that's, oh, I can't say that's what Sonic has always been, but that's what I want to achieve. And then if anyone decides to go further than what I give them, then I think that's a mission or a job well done, mission accomplished, etc. So me taking it on is really just to be that kind of conduit for everything. But gotta make sure it's true to me, because that's the goal at the end of the day. Also, speaking of Radical Highway in the background, I'm so upset more people didn't watch that Shadow video I did. I feel like that's a very good video. I feel like I put my all into it. And I get that's going to be the case sometimes. People aren't going to always watch, you know, everything you put out, or it won't always perform the way you want it to. But that was the first time I did something so artistically, and I'm like, huh, not performing the way I thought it would, which kind of sucks. But it's also probably the thumbnail. It's probably the thumbnail for that video. It's not a good thumbnail looking back on it. But that week was very like stressful for me because I was going camping. I had a couple of other things to do. So I may go back and revamp that thumbnail at some point because it is part of like my long running character analysis playlist of videos, which I'm glad that I actually decided to make. But I enjoyed the process of even making that. It was fun, especially coming right after I think that came after the Gerald video. Yeah, no, exactly. It's exactly what you just said. Like for me, my family was pretty much always busy. You know, it was just my brother and I growing up. Most of the time because my mom had to work and not everyone could, or not many people could always like take care of us or whatnot. So my brother and I would just bond over games, and then whenever we didn't want to play games with one another, I would go play some Sonic game in like the living room, and he would go and play like Ratchet and Clank or Call of Duty or something like that on his own. And like Sonic was my safe spot, especially since my brother introduced me to Sonic. You know, that was pretty cool of him to do. And then from that point on, from like age 3 to now, it's just been Sonic. So I have a lot to thank him for when it comes to that. So okay, already looking better. Let me fix this. I'll wait on that. I'll wait on that. This one I can definitely fix up though. Really? You thought the chaos energy video was hard to digest? Was it because there was a lot of info? Because I feel like that one, it did take a lot of research. But excuse me. But I tried to streamline it as much as possible. But it's interesting to hear that it was hard to digest. And then finish the shadow. See, the shadow video is a banger. Oh shit. I enjoyed the shadow video myself, you know, as someone who made it, of course. The YouTube, yeah, the endless feed of YouTube recommendations, the rabbit holes, he fell into them. Still, okay, that's fair. That was one of the first ones that I not did heavy research on, but was one of the first videos where I was like, okay, let me take a little bit more time than just writing off the top of the head. So I think I got too focused on putting in the information and maybe not so much as making it, like you said, digestible. So that is good to note. Okay, that's a little bit of grass is fine. His shoes over there. I might as well outline this while I'm here. Right there. Oh yeah, I'm always open to feedback as long as it's constructive. Some people, you know, just want to be critical just to be critical, and it's like, what did that offer me? What did that offer the creator? But I do always enjoy positive feedback, of course, but you know, constructive criticism and feedback. I mean, how else are you supposed to get better? Because oh no, wait a minute. I could easily think everything I make is perfect, but I know it's not. So, because if it was, I would be at like 1 million subscribers and blah, 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 and so on and so forth. So, not to say I'm doing something wrong. Of course, these things take time, but you know, the people who are watching the videos have a right to say how they felt about it and whatnot. So I definitely do take that in stride. Is that part of your shoe? Kinda. Looks like the shadow. I'll leave that in. And let me clean this up. Oh no, that's just your shoe. Okay. That one's a little hard because can't really tell. Okay, that's actually pretty good. That's a pretty good curve. Yeah. The so-called haters. Yeah. I don't think I have any like hardcore haters. There are people that will just pop into like the YouTube comment section just to be assholes about like the topic at hand. So they do exist, not to say that they don't, because they're always going to exist no matter what. But there are also like just as many, if not more, people that have something, you know, nice or just, once again, critical to say, but in a positive manner. Like, oh, I feel like this is actually what happened, or blah, 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 or, you know, you missed this part. And I always respect those because, you know, they just want to see the content be not more honest, but they want to see the content be more accurate to whether it's how they feel or just, you know, what's actually being presented. So a couple of times I've been corrected, and I most definitely have been like, okay, you know what? I'll do better next time. So once again, it's all about being iterative. Let's see, move that over just a little bit. Yeah, you know, had a couple of folks just been like, hey, yo, I never, you know, seen someone talk about the things the way you talk about it, and it makes me really want to pursue content of my own, or just I really enjoy the effort that you put in. I'm like, that feels good. To hear that you inspire people, I think, is one of the highest forms of human satisfaction that you can get, just because it proves that you're doing something right. Obviously, you know, you can inspire people to do bad things, but that's not what I try to do, of course. But you know, they're like, I really like what you're doing, keep it up, so on and so forth, and feels good. Feels good. Let's see. I'm cutting off a bit of his sock right there, but it's okay. Okay, there we go. Good outline, good outline. There we go. Okay. Beautiful. All this for a high quality image. The things I do for Sonic, I can increase that a little bit, make the job go a little faster. I'm upset I never like stuck with MapleStory when the hype was still there. When it first came out, I used to always play it. And once again, it was my brother that introduced me to it. But I don't know, by the time I actually got a chance to understand what I was supposed to be doing, there was just too many people that were way too high levels and not many folks that were actively joining. So it was kind of like, oh yeah, you're just alone, not many folks to do missions with, unless there was a special event, but you have to be like level 50 to do all the events that are actually worth something. Sure that most kids draw on their tables. Probably. YouTube is a little more lax, but I am also streaming to Twitch right now just because it's like a just chatting thing. MapleStory. It's like a game. It's still going around, But I think the game dropped in like 2005, 2006, and it's like a not a browser-based game, but it's like a MMO basically. You choose your class. I think the starting classes. Oh wow. Thief, magician, bellman, warrior, and ooh, I don't know what that last one was. I know they added pirate sometime after, but there was another. There was like a sixth one, I think. But super fun game. Now I think it's kind of dead and just like hackers are just doing hacker things in it. But super fun game. Super fun game. It was before the time where like all the online games or mobile games would force you to add like a credit card or buy some shit that you didn't really need. So I do miss the early 2000s era of gaming. That was so much fun. Not to sound like an old head, but games like that definitely fire. That was like my Toontown. Yeah, definitely look up like some old videos and whatnot. I think most of them are going to be montages, but I enjoyed the game for what it was back in the day. Plus, you can customize your characters with like a whole bunch of different things and whatnot. The only aspect I didn't like is that there was a shop that you could use actual money or like gift cards to buy things in, but then the items got returned to the game after like 30 days. So you were basically renting an outfit. And I don't know if that's because of like the code necessary to keep the outfits in your inventory. But the gameplay itself was fun. And this is another song from MapleStory. I think my first class was a magician, but I got rid of that account. No, I didn't get rid of it. I just made another character on that same account because I didn't like the way my hair was, because you can pay for haircuts, quote unquote, in the game. And I ended up getting a buzz cut randomly, and I was like, I don't like a buzz cut. And I didn't figure out how to get my hair back. Thus, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and make a new one. Too much. Let me zoom in a little bit. Okay, could do that. I don't think I've ever consistently used a Linux machine, so I'm not too well versed in them. But to hear they have more customizability than Windows is pretty unique, I will say. But Supercell, yeah. See, I feel like the monetization of, or actually, yeah, the monetization of video games, like consistently buying stuff for a video game, has done more damage than it has done good. Because live service games are one thing. Like, some are fun. I thoroughly enjoy Marvel Rivals, for example. But why does everything need to continuously cost money? You know, if I buy, I don't know, what's a good example? Like, if I buy a Call of Duty game, why do I need to buy every single map that comes out? Why can't you guys just like make it so it's a choice for cosmetics and not for gameplay? Because some maps, actually no, all maps, I'm pretty sure, you still have to pay for. And that locks a lot of people out. Like when I had Black Ops 2, for example, I didn't have the season pass that they had introduced, and I couldn't play with my friends on more than like 2 maps. And we kept getting the same one. I think it was like Raid from Black Ops 2 and then Nuketown. And Nuketown gets boring after a while. But, you know, that's beside the point. Yeah, capitalism is a shithole, I will say. Unfortunately, you know. It's like the idea that a game can stay fresh for years past its initial release is cool. But why do I have to pay $24 every year just to get all the newest things? Like at that point, I'd like spending $24, because the average Call of Duty like season pass, I don't even know how much it is, but most games have a season pass for like a year. That's $24, and they'll go on for like 3 or 4 years. At that point, I might as well just buy a new game, you know? But because they lock you out of playing with people who do have the maps, not all the time, but because they do that, it's like, okay, well, I kind of feel left out. It's basically FOMO. They're weaponizing FOMO, is what I'm trying to say. Which really sucks, but hey, what are you gonna do? That's why I always say, play what you play, or play what you want to play and enjoy it. And usually emulation is the way to go, but that's neither here nor there. I can sharpen this up a little bit or smooth this out. Let's see. That should be good for the hand, right? Kinda. I'll get up there. That is unfortunately a bar. They popped off with that one. They popped off with that one. Because that's really all you can do is, you know, try to get as much money as you can so you can live comfortably. Because I guarantee most people don't even want to be rich. Their idea of richness, or what it means to be wealthy, is consistent income that will house you, feed you and your kids or your loved ones who live in the house with you, with some money for like things that you want to buy, not that you necessarily need. And not a lot of people live in excess. You know, we live in excess with small things like candy and food and takeout, things like that. But when it comes to like big purchases, the average person isn't going out and buying every single new game, car, etc. that comes out. At least I hope not. I mean, some people will, of course, but the people in my surroundings don't get a new phone every year. They don't need the newest, once again, game that comes out all the time. They don't need X, they don't need Y. So it really is just a matter of like personal, not even personal preference, but personal ability to hold yourself back or to have some restraint. That's pretty good. It's pretty good. There's a little jaggedness right here though. Tim Maya, yeah, for sure. There's a couple of YouTubers I have to actually check out, or just not even YouTubers, couple of entertainers and whatnot I had to check out, so I'll add them to the list. My friend actually recommended a couple of folks as well, so okay, that's a little better. I can't tell if that's your pinky. I think that's your pinky. Yeah, that's your pinky. That looks better. Okay. Okay, let's do this big ass head, Sonic. Yeah, not even this can dictate exactly where it's supposed to be looking, but let's do this. I can kind of see the outline, so let's do that. There we go. That's beautiful. Big ass head. Okay, now this little confusing part. Jesus Christ. I'm gonna assume... No, I messed that up. I almost had it. Okay, that looks good, I think. They shouldn't be because I have a what you call it in here that allows me to look at all links. Hold on one second. Let me check my YouTube settings. It's not gonna let me change it if it is because I'm streaming right now. Okay, so I can't change it unfortunately, but I'll check after this. But I even have, like I said, a little extension that allows me to look at links. If you feel like typing it out, you could maybe do that. No, I'm kidding. Don't type it. Don't type it out. Maybe just separate the .com and the paste that you're doing. So like put the link and then separate that. That might work. Let me freshen this up. Oh, wrong one. Kind of. That works. Okay, let's see. Duplicate into... Oh, that looks so much better already. Okay. Oh, that looks so much better already. Yeah, no, so like I was saying, I don't think they are, but if YouTube is for some reason, I'm not sure why, but it won't let me change the settings since I'm streaming currently. So I'll have to go in and retroactively do it. So if you want to like link the website like you're typing out a message and then just separate the .com, that should work. I would think that should work. But yeah, this is much better. So much better. Maybe I should lower Knuckles. Oh, it's not full screen. There we go. Okay, let me erase this one. Let me erase this one. Question is now, though. I'm thinking. My brain juices are flowing right now. Let me see. Let me see if I can find an asset that might... Let me just play with the idea. Let me play with the idea. Hold on. Dark stained green background. Okay, I'll play with that as well. Let me see. You said green, right? Let me see. Like a forest green, or give me like an example. Like a forest green, a what's another color I could use? Oh, uh-huh. Oh, my back. Excuse me. Let me try one of these. Forest green with pigments of less dark green, but the scroll is an excellent idea. Okay. Let me see. So scroll, let's save the scroll for last. That's too late. Yeah, I have one like low latency, so I'm not sure why, but it's okay. That one's too bright. Let's turn it down just a little bit. Okay. Actually, I can just Google like forest green color code. Oh, no, not the AI. Okay. Okay, let's see. Let's see. I messed that up a little bit. Let me minimize it. Okay. Maybe I can find... Let me see something real quick. Hold on. Color code mixer. Let me do that, right? Okay. And then red, yellow, green, as in ready, set, go. Ah. Okay, I'll try that out. Let me do this color mixer first, just to get an idea. I'll do, yeah, I guess this is fine. The goldish color. Let me try this, I guess. No, let's do actually submit again. Wait, what the hell just happened? I don't know what just happened. Okay. All right, let me redo that, I guess. F to D. Let's go for one of these. Okay. Oh, no, not that. Background. Nah. Okay, let me move the green. I probably should have just... Actually, wait a minute. I could just do this, right? not that. Whoa, what did I do? Whoa. Wait a minute. What did I just do? Because I may have just changed the game. Wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. What is this? Gradient tool? Wait a minute. Hold on. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Oh, what can I do with this? I just had a brain blast. Okay, hold on. Let me figure out how to use this, I guess. What if I do it this way? Okay. And what if I do it this way? Okay. This is I am, but I have to figure out how to like yeah, the in-between. The in-between is gonna make or break it. I need to find something. Okay, let me use the color mixer. Hold on one second. Another text. Yeah, so the text can actually be maybe. We'll see. We'll see how I feel about that. We'll see how I feel about that. Okay, color mixer. Hold on. Other fonts, that's a good idea as well. Give me 1 second to try that. Oh, damn it. Okay. And then, what is this color code? Do that. Oops. Maybe this? Oh, wait, no, not that. Oops. Well, ornaments. Okay, some like adjustments. That's not the worst color. I'm gonna hold off on that though. Let me see. Select a layer. Background. No. Can I do it like this? No. Okay, so that's just gonna mess up the entire thing. Also, let me do this while I'm thinking about it. Actually, yeah, let me do that while I'm thinking about it. Because I'm pretty sure I'm going to keep the lines there just because. Let me see. I've lost the plot. I've lost the plot. Hmm. Also, let me get rid of that and that, just so I have those images for later. Huh. All right, hold on. Let me take a break to use the restroom real quick, and I'll be right back. So give me 1 second. Okay, I'm back. There we go. Everything still is good, right? Mike, Spotify. All right, sweet. And Town Night spoiler from Terraria. Bet. Hold on. Oh, here it is. Okay. Put that on. And then let me hurry up and I don't need to figure everything out right now, but I do want to at least get the basis of it. I think the images are good. I just need to figure out exactly how to compose them. How to compose them. Oh, yeah, no, most definitely. In a perfect world, I would love to have the thumbnail done before I continue editing the video, or, you know, scripting and editing. Oh, I still need to finish scripting. before I finish all the other pre stuff for the video, but it's gonna take a minute. I feel like the gradient is such a good idea. The gradient is such a good idea. Oh, whoa, too loud, my bad. I accidentally upped the volume. Like, what background, if not a gradient, then what background could do the job that I'm looking for? Let me just look up Sonic, what's a good thing to look up? Sonic stage backgrounds, I guess. No. I'm looking. Green Hill Zone has been used way too often. That's quite literally just a Green Hill look. Nah. Nah. Back, quote unquote. Yeah, no, that's not gonna, that looks ugly. Okay. Yeah, no, not Green Hill. All right, let me get rid of that. Or do I have to just like paint the background white again? Okay, there we go. That was the gradient. I can probably use that for something else though. I can most definitely use that for something else. Maybe I'm looking at it all wrong, and the text is genuinely like confusing me. Yeah, I feel like the scroll definitely goes with the whole like, if I'm dead set on having Knuckles be in the middle, because like thematically it makes sense. It makes sense to have Knuckles in there thematically. Wait a second. Let me try something. Hold on. Let me hide these. Let me hide these. Let me hide these. Let me work with just these two. This shit is hard. Oh my god. Why did I choose this as a profession? Mm. Man. Oops. Am I thinking too hard about it? I might be thinking too hard about it. Yeah, it might be the text after all. Let's see. But the thing about the text is that it has to be viewable, right? Let's see. Hmm. Social treatment. Yeah, maybe I should look at some more of his thumbnails. It's been a minute since I've even, because I have him on my what you call it, as like a inspiration, so it's easy to get to his account. That sounds kind of crazy. Story game, how to fix. Yeah, he uses very like simple text as well. Let me see. Open Sans. Is there a way to transform that? Where's this? Oh, so you think the standard font and sizes are bad? Really? What if I do... What if I do something like this? No, that wouldn't make sense. Well, hold on. Let me try moving him over here. This over here. Move the text on each of at least when they're white, don't have any kind of adjustment in size. But let's saw image be, for example, wouldn't be too good looking. I see. if I do something like this? Increase that. This just a little bit. Maybe move this. Let me try this. Oh wait, I can also... No, hell no. Hell no. Okay. Put that back where it was. Make this bigger. And then add another text layer. I also have to make sure these are all the same text, so gotta remember to do that. You think script will be good? Do they have that as an option? Oops. Oh, they have a lot of scripts. Oh wait. Oh, what if I do... let's see. Something like that. Hold on. Blending, I'll worry about that in a second. Let me do the actual color first. Do that. Blending, stroke, drop shadow. Let me implement or duplicate another copy of this. Let's do copy 1. SS original. Original. Okay, and then duplicate into let me hide that. Let me hide that. I think this is good framing. Kinda. This could definitely be lower. Open sans. Yeah, I think so as well. I just need to play with it a little bit more. Wait, where are all my... Oh, there. That's why. Open sans. move this down just a little bit. Hold on. This might just be the wrong Sonic, the wrong Supersonic image. It might just be the wrong Supersonic image, possibly. Yeah, it might just be the wrong Supersonic image. Unless I can somehow... Alright, let me get rid of Knuckles. Let me see what getting rid of Knuckles does. Oh, this image is kind of grainy as well. It will. Luckily, there's like when it comes to Supersonic as a character, there's a lot, but it's a lot easier to sift through. Just because I can just type in Supersonic render, and a whole bunch will pop up. Oh. No, but then I have to change the art. Ugh. Okay. Damn it. Yeah, I might have to change it for 2D or... It would be, and I wouldn't have to worry so much about the actual, like, third dimension kind of sift, like, messing with things. Hold on. Excuse me, sneezed. Because I was looking at this. This is a little too... I feel like it would take a long time for me to get something to cop to have this. Like, this would be perfect. Thank you, I appreciate it. Thank you, thank you. It's bless you. This would be perfect. This right here, I feel like I could frame it a little bit better. I can frame it a little bit better. But this, and then... Hmm. Yeah, this is the tough part. Finding something to match the rawness of this image. 10 p.m. Jesus Christ. Wait, really? 10 p.m. on Friday? I didn't know Brazil was like 4 hours ahead. It's kind of crazy. Starting to get tired. Yeah, no worries. I'm gonna end off soon. But this has been insightful. This has been insightful. Oh, wait a minute. Huge help. Thank you. I do appreciate it, sir. Oh, wait a minute. Let me see. What if I just do one of these, right? And then one of those. Nah. Hell nah. Hell nah. Yeah, no. I do like. Wait. 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 Oh my god. Wait. SA1, it's so difficult because he's so raw. Oh, I'm trying. Hold on. Okay, I just need to, I have to do it. Hold on, one second. What if I take this? What if I take this? Not this. Not that. What if I take this? Smart objects. I do this. And then I do this. Oh, shit, not that. No. Hold on. I'm locked in. I'm locked in. Messed that up. Okay. I'll have to go back and refine this, but that's okay. As long as I can visualize the idea, I can see if I like it or not. Oh, not that. I don't know where. Oh, that's right there. That's why. Ah, damn it. It's because his body's cut off. That's annoying. But that's the idea. Something like that. I need something that's gonna that's a full body render that matches that. But what if it's legit just boom? You know, text in the middle so people know what they're to expect. And then like a transformation kind of thing. And then if we want to be saucy with it, hold on. Oh, not that. Hold on, wait a minute. Right? Maybe we can end up using this after all, possibly. Oh, wait, what? Okay, not if it doesn't go through. What the hell? Oh, is it because I did it the other way? Let's see. Gradient on that way. Okay. Okay, well, I have to figure out. Yeah, I think that's a good starting point. Maybe. Yeah, I can play with that idea. But I think that's good enough. That's good enough for now. Let me actually go ahead and save this. So, no Sonic Riders today, but it'd be like that sometimes. But yeah, I'm gonna save that. And then I'll play with that as time goes on. Because I could always just have it be... Let me try one more thing before I go. Oh, no, other way. Okay, no, I guess other way. Yeah, I'll see. I'll play with it. But, oops. Let me go back here and do that. All right, cool. So, insightful, very insightful stream. Appreciate everyone stopping by. But, yeah, I'll catch you guys all in the next one. May or may not be a stream tomorrow. Just really depends on what I have going on. But in the meantime, enjoy the rest of your day. And a good night if it's nighttime where you're at. But I'll catch you all in the next one. Bye-bye.